You are listening to the Pro-Black Perspective on KWAZ Radio. Welcome to the Pro-Black Perspective, where black problems are addressed with black solutions. Your host tonight is the author of the Pro-Black Compendium and Zuberi and the Maroons of Maa, the Pan-African Nationalist, Oni. Oni, what are we discussing tonight?
Pro-black cannot only mean anti-black. Today my son's not around. Usually he's in the background or sleeping or so on and so forth. He's not around today, so I can start getting loud. And I'm going to get loud. Because I'm going to say something that you need to hear. Pro-black cannot only mean anti-black. A lot of you want to tell me, hey, look here, Black Lives Matter is so-and-so. Or this Askari, or this person's Askari, and this person's activist. That don't make you pro-black. Telling me what I already know, telling me that a white-financed organization isn't operating on behalf of black people does not make you pro-black. That makes you opinionated. That makes you opinionated. In the Pro-Black Compendium, we have an essay called The 4 Stages of African Consciousness. It's on page 246. 4 stages of African consciousness. You got the Askari stage. That's your race traders. You got the activist stage. That's those fools that you love to quote. And of course you got your other stages, but understand the Askari and the activist stage. Discussing Askari and activists and pointing out the flaws of Askari and activists is not pro-black. That's not doing anything. You're not doing anything when you do that. Telling me, oh, well, P. Diddy did this. Nicki Minaj said, that's nothing. You think that's woke or awakened or conscious? It's not. You're wasting your time and you're wasting mine. You need to stop with this wake up. I told you this last time. Stop with this wake up. Hey man, our people just need to wake up. How? When you still asleep. Why are you trying to wake people up when you still asleep? You're supposed to say, how can I help? That's what being pro-black is. Not telling people, oh, well, Tariq Nasheed is so popular. Everybody knows this. Fortnite is popular. That's a video game. Look at Fortnite. I looked it up. They released a gameplay video 2 days ago. 6 million views. And a lot of those are African people. A lot. Who cares if stupid stuff is popular? Who cares? Who cares if Tariq Nasheed is popular? Who cares? The goal is that smart people are popular. That's the goal. And don't worry about stupid being popular. Stupid's gonna be popular. You're in America. You're in the West. You're in the white people. They're stupid. And they're popular. But when you have African genius, African splendor, African grandeur, you big that up. What are you doing? Again, like I keep telling you, open the Pro-Black Compendium, page 24, very clearly says peace is the fruit of activity, not of sleep. You get peace through activity, not through sleeping. Talking about other people is an activity. Talking about all the fools running the show, making bank, all that. That's not activity. That's sleeping. You watching other people be active. And what are you doing? Well, man, that person's mad active. He's doing all this. Yeah, okay. What are you doing, though? Every morning you should ask yourself, what am I doing? What am I doing today? What did I do yesterday? What am I doing tomorrow? I tell you what I'm doing. I say, look, I'm working on this book. I tell you what I did. Or, well, I wrote this book. What am I going to do tomorrow? I'm looking to this other book. Matter of fact, that reminds me of another passage in the Pro-Black Compendium that I keep telling you to get, and you keep ignoring me. It's a Carter G. Woodson quote. I put a lot of stuff in here that you need to look at. Here's Carter G. Woodson. If the African could abandon the idea of leadership and instead stimulate a large number of the race to take up definite tasks and sacrifice their time and energy in doing these things efficiently, the race might accomplish something. The race needs workers, not leaders. Such workers will solve the problems which race leaders talk about and raise money to enable them to talk more and more about. When you hear an African talking, then always inquire as to what that African does or has done for the race. Oratory and resolutions do not avail much. If they did, the African race would be in a paradise on earth. It may be well to repeat here the saying that elders talk of what they have done, the youth of what they are doing, and fools what they expect to do. The African race has a rather large share of the last mentioned class. That's Carter G. Woodson. Miseducation of the Negro. 100 years ago. And you're still in the same predicament. Except you're not even doing as much as what he's saying. He's saying, well, look, there are some people who are saying what they expect to do. You ain't even talking about what you expect to do. You talking about what other people are doing against you. You're not talking about what good people are doing. I look at my videos and I'm like, where the views at? Where the views at? Been at this for years. Let's say a decade. And I'm still wondering where the views at. But I see how you talk. And I see what you're talking about. You're talking about all the fools. All of them. Last week I told you that you guys like to talk about Malcolm X. And look, I'm not going to hate on Malcolm X. I mean, I don't really like that Islam stuff, but I'm not going to hate on him. But listen to me. When Malcolm X was walking at an event, he saw Carlos A. Cooks. And he went to Carlos A. Cooks and he said, humbly, he said, why can't we get together? Why can't we get together? Why can't we work together? And Carlos A. Cooks told him, look, we'll get together when you get a program. And that's a difference. Malcolm X was a talker. He was a spokesman. He was literally a spokesman for the Nation of Islam. He wasn't the leader of the Nation of Islam. He wasn't the organizer of the Nation of Islam. He was a spokesman for the Nation of Islam. And the Nation of Islam wasn't really about much. And Malcolm X said, look here, I'm going to go all sincerity. Go to one of the giants, one of the real black men. I'm going to go to the real black man, Carlos A. Cooks. Ask him, how can we get together? And Carlos A. Cooks put him down. And you picked up Malcolm. You picked up Malcolm. And when I tell you, hey, look, I'll give you the works of Carlos A. Cooks. Let you understand what it looks like when a black man puts a book together. You tell me, man, forget that, man. I got Malcolm. Yo, I read the autobiography. Now I want to talk. And it ain't even an autobiography. He didn't even see the last transcript. And Kumat himself went to Cook's. One time they had an event in Harlem. They said, let's invite all the nationalists. And they invited Nkrumah as the keynote speaker. Nkrumah, president of Ghana. Mr. Pan-Africanism. Mr. African nationalism. And of course, I know he messed up. I know he done a lot of bad stuff, but at least he noticed Cooks outside the building. Because Cooks was like, how you going to have an African nationalist meeting without me? He was standing outside the building. Nkrumah himself went out and said, come in here, brother. Come speak after me. And when he spoke, he tore the house down. Even Nkrumah noticed. Malcolm X noticed that Cooks was the real deal. And I'm telling you, hey, look, get this Cooks book. That's what being pro-black is. Going back to the esteemed ancestors, that's what being pro-black is. It's not telling me about Azalea Banks or Saza or whomever. It's not telling you about Omarosa and Candace Owens and the blue vest guy. Ain't talking about Black Lives Matter. That's not what pro-black is. That's being anti-black. Okay, you know what the anti-blacks are. Stay away from them. That's it. It ain't complicated. You talk about the fools too much. You gotta ask yourself, is there any dignified African nationalist that would make these people a keynote at their event? And if not, why are you making them a keynote? Your job is to point me to the capable. Show me who's capable. Cooks was the source. Review the source. Garvey was the source. You're not understanding that. It's like you going over Kush and Kemet. Kemet had the recording so you like it. But Kush was the source. Kush was the source. Malcolm X had more recordings, of course. So yeah, you can listen to him. Sure, why not? But when I tell you that you could get Cooks, because white boys like, hey, look, man, you can get Cooks for $900. I'm telling you $15. And when I say 15, you could do more than that. But I'm telling you $15 and you telling me, nah, I'm good. I know what to do. You go back to the source, like with Kemet. Go to Kemet, study Kemet. But understand that Kush went as far as the Americas. Went as far as India, Sumer, Iran, Iraq, China. Africa had no border back then. Global African unity across the globe. Colonies in Europe, Asia, the Americas. Kush, you had Olmecs. Olmecs in America. Big giant statues of black faces. You had the Minoans in Europe, the precursor to ancient Greece. You had the Indus Valley civilization and the Sumerians. Kush even went to Kemet. Kush even went into Kemet and saved them in the 25th dynasty. Even when they started talking, well, we mixed, we no longer even pure blacks anyway. We mixed and we don't even like y'all. Kush went in and restored black culture there. And you still want to talk about Kemet. And it's in the Pro-Black Compendium. Even the source material. But you still sitting on your ass. Still sitting down wondering, what can I do, man? Not even wondering what you could do. You promoting the villains. The seducers, the crooks, the thieves. Hey, Oni, what do you think about Tariq Nasheed? Listen to me. There's not enough money in the world to make me care about Tariq Nasheed. You couldn't pay me to care about Tariq Nasheed. I'm telling you how to liberate African people, and you discussing Askari and Askari ideas. You want to talk about how the descendants of slavery is a dumb movement. Your mouth is a dumb movement if you entertain that Askari nonsense. I don't want to tell you again there's a way for self-liberation, and you're not doing it. You have the Pro-Black Compendium, and you have Carlos A. Cooks. I'm telling you how to get them. All I want to see from you is that you have receipts. Now I got to rest my voice.
Greetings, everyone. This is Koku from the Bitter Medicine Podcast, inviting you to tune in to the Bitter Medicine Podcast on KWAZ Radio.
Peace Seeker. This is Oni from the Pro-Black perspective, and we need power. Power will not be handed to us. We need to build power. But in order to build power, we need a power blueprint. You need to study the best blueprints available. You have Garbage. You have Wilsons. You have Williams. You have mine. Now, you'll have Cooks. Carlos A. Cooks was Garvey's best student. The greatest mind in the world from 1940 to 1966. Yes, the greatest. Yet Whitey doesn't want you to read his blueprint. Cook's blueprint isn't religious. Cook's isn't for integration. Cook's isn't for communism. Cook's isn't even for anti-blacks. Cook's blueprint is for Africa. And Cook's blueprint is the unknown blueprint that was the basis of black power as we know it today. When you say buy black, you're talking about Cooks. When you say black is beautiful, you're talking about Cooks. When you say Malcolm got something right, you're talking about Cooks. But Cook's blueprint was lost. And Whitey is hiding that blueprint behind $1,000 paywall. He's hiding solutions from you, telling you you need to take out a small loan to get the information that can liberate you. Whitey does not want you to have solutions to your problems, but you need solutions. You need power. I will give you the Carlos A. Cooks Reader, valued over $1,000 at a 98% discount, $15. Send $15 to cash.me/$ABSONI with the subject Carlos and your email address, and I'll send you the ebook. We need power. You need blueprints. Start building today.
You are listening to the Pro-Black Perspective on KWAZ Radio.
So in the Pro-Black Compendium, I discuss living giants. On page 148, I tell you about Albert Raffo. Now he has 31 books. 31 books. All of them free ebooks. And you could buy them. Send them to your house. Publishes in-house. Brother brought a printer and said, look, you could even get these books. He holds events where he gives out these books for free. So if you give him the money, he could still finance that operation where he holds free events for black people. But guess what? You can't even spell his name. You can't even spell his name. Good brother. Good, intelligent black man. You got Asara Motep. I name job him on page 292. I said, look, I'm going to write this book. I'm going to shout out another black brother. I'm going to shout out the black brothers, black sisters doing the work. This brother's comparing Bantu languages with ancient Kemet. Living author, comparing living languages with ancient ones. Recently, he wrote on Twitter, everyone is wrong about Kemet. He says, Kemet has nothing to do with the word black. And he's like, it's going to be released in my next book. And look, he could be right, he could be wrong. It doesn't matter. He's a working black man. What are you? What are you? Oh, you employed by Whitey Shore, but are you a working black man or black woman? That's the question. Are you working? There's a difference between being employed and working. Are you working? Might as well say, are you warring? Get it right. And I want to know, what are you working on besides from whining? What are you working on besides from whining? You're doing all these little whines. Look, if I want to whine, I'm going to go to a Caribbean club. I'll get down, put on the soca, put on the reggae, put on the dance hall. You'll see me putting in work with all these other fools. That's what I'm gonna do if I want to whine. If I want to hear some whining, if I want to see some whining. Go do some dance hall. Get low. So I read a tweet the other day by a brother named Athrazor. ATHRAZHUR. You can see him on Twitter at ATHRAZHUR. Write it down. Calls himself faithful to the end. It's a good brother. Deep thinker. Said he was doing music since 1997. Since 1997. He said he made less than $1,000 in 21 years. But he's still holding strong. He's been doing music longer than you've been conscious. And he made less than $1,000 that way. You go to his SoundCloud, good music, pro-black music, thoughtful music. And I know some of you gonna say, well, man, it's because he's pro-black. That's why it's not. That's why he don't make that. No, it's because you're not pro-black. You're anti-black. You talking about Azealia Banks and Minaj and Puff Daddy and Jay-Z. You ain't talking about pro-black authors. You ain't putting in the work for pro-black activities. Bugsy Banton music is pro-black and he gets dollars. You can't make the excuse, oh well, pro-black ain't gonna work. But his music is produced and distributed by a team. That's the big difference. Teamwork makes the dream work. Others will point out, Jamaica is a small nation, but it was hugely influential around the world for its music because they work together. Different individuals work together for the propagation of a positive message. But it's not like it used to be. You heard a talented brother. And if you didn't check him out, check him out. But you're not looking to cooperate to produce or distribute. You're not looking to share. You're not looking to enrich. You're not looking to be pro-black. Like I said, if Nicki Minaj put out something bad about black folk, you're on it. You're on it. How could she say this, man? How could she do this? Matter of fact, I heard Lee Daniels is looking to redo Spook Who Sat by the Door. And you there, man, how could he do this? You're giving him all this press. You're giving him all this press. And I'm only giving you this as an example. If this coon, I don't want to use the word coon. If this Askari is doing something, that's what they do. He's Askari. When someone lets you know who they are, believe them the first time. That's Maya Angelou. If someone lets you know who they are, believe them the first time. Lee Daniels says, hey, look, I'm Askari. Just believe him. Say thank you. Say thank you. Now I know I can't trust you. That's a powerful thing. That's all you need to know. Oh, I can't trust this dude. Good job. Now when I see your name, I'm not going to patronize anything about you. I'm not going to talk about you. I'm not going to look at you. I'm not going to look your way. I'm not going to bring you up in intelligent conversation. I'm not going to bring you up in intelligent discourse. I'm not going to spend 30 minutes on you. I'm going to spend 2 seconds on you. That's it. Anytime you see an Ascari, okay, thank you. Now I know whenever I hear your name, to tune out everything else. Keep it moving. You say, oh, well, look, a black director? Oh, wait, what does he do? Oh, okay, never mind. That's it. That's it. Otherwise, if you didn't hear that, oh, what does he do? Just support them. And then when you find out what they do, just say, whoops, shouldn't have supported them. Going on to the next one. That's it. And the next one's going to say, hey, look, I'm getting a lot of support for being a black director without any sort of drama. That's good. Now there's an economy around that. There's an economy around people doing good by their people and being rewarded for it. We're being rewarded for doing good for our people. So then now we're going to do it. Instead, the people who are doing bad for our people are getting rewarded, and you wonder why they're doing bad for their people. You're like, why is he doing bad for him? I keep giving him my money. Every time I give him his money, every time he curses at me, I give him money. Why in the world? Why in the world does he keep doing bad? If he says a good word about me, I don't really give him anything. So, why does he continue to keep saying good things about me? You gotta be pro-black. Like I said, you go to these negative people, and then you go and say, hey, Oni, can you listen to this? You give them press. And then a good brother sings their heart out longer than you knew you were African, and you ain't giving him a dime. That's not pro-black. Stop saying you're pro-black. Just say I'm anti-black. Say I don't like people who are anti-black, but I'm not going to support any black people. That's all you got to say. Say, look, I'm not about supporting my brothers and sisters. I'm just about hating on the black folk who ain't doing anything. But I'm not going to openly admit that I'm about self-hate because I'm not doing anything either. Sure. Marcus Garvey had an essay on black journalism, and I thought it fit really well with social media. Here's a portion of it, though. It says the white press of today has its elements of venality and corruption. But the higher ethics of the profession are generally observed and maintained, and at no time will find the influence of white journalism used to debase or humiliate its race, but always to promote the highest ideals and protect the integrity of the white people everywhere. The Negro press, to the contrary, has no constructive policy nor ideal. You may purchase its policy and destroy or kill any professed ideal if you would make the offer in cash. Negro newspapers will publish the gravest falsehoods without making any effort to first find out the authenticity. They publish the worst crimes and libels against the race if it pays in circulation or advertisements. Now, of course, he later on tells you about the Negro world and how it's promoting the ideals and the highest aspects of African people. But I want you to pay attention to that right there. At least in Garvey's times, the crooks had the dignity to promote fools for money. You do it for free. You're making whites money debasing African people. At least your elders and the deceased, the discarded deceased, at least they had the dignity to say, look, I'm going to get paid doing this. You're not getting paid on social media. Whitey is. White CEOs are getting paid. That's advertising. That's advertising money. Just your presence alone makes them tell people, hey, look, we got a huge market. Just your presence alone. They're getting paid from that. You're not getting paid, but you still giving all these fools advertisements.
Greetings, everyone. This is Koku from the Bitter Medicine Podcast, inviting you to tune in to the Bitter Medicine Podcast on KWAZ Radio. Greetings, family. This is Koku, host of the Bitter Medicine Podcast. In case you didn't know, we have an online book club called the Bitter Medicine Book Club. Every month, we will select a book to inspire the Bitter Medicine Podcast listening audience to read along together. At the end of the month, we will have a call-in show and book discussion. This is a great, dynamic way for readers to not only enjoy a book, but also have others to bounce ideas off of. They say if you want to keep anything away from black people, put it in a book. Don't allow this to be true. Head over to bittermedicineblogs.com and subscribe to our newsletter for important updates. Do that today. Join our reading collective today and empower yourselves, your family, and your community. Peace and blessings.
Where in the world is the black race the leading race? Where in the world is the white man underfoot while black men wear the boots on their necks? Is it in Africa, where the dictators shoot down families, robbing them and sending that stolen money to Wazungu banks? Is it in the diaspora, where police agents masquerade as conscious or woke, keeping the population dull and passive, marching, petitioning, but ultimately integrating? No, it's nowhere. The once leading race doesn't even have a damn leader and wouldn't even know one if he showed up. Until now. Marcus Garvey, the greatest organizer of the 20th century, left us the course on African philosophy, and I'm teaching it from September 2nd to December 11th for $5 a week. If $5 a week is too much of an investment from you to change the destiny of your people, then I already know all I need to know about you. However, those of you who understand the task we need to take, sign up before September 2nd at africanbloodsiblings.wordpress.com/Garvey. The time for playing is over. Black leadership is coming back. The days of the fearless cracker are no more. Tuliende ma'at. Tushiende is fet. Tuendele Ancobia.
You are listening to the Pro-Black Perspective on KWAZ Radio.
When I was first in the UAM, some were saying they didn't like Clinton Brown. And that's an important black man you should know. TAP. What's that mean? TAP. That's transatlantic production. Most of those videos you like on YouTube were recorded by this one brother. He ain't share the funds, so some of the UAM ain't like him. But he's one of the reasons why you know Amos Wilson, Clark, Ben, Marimba, and so on. He was distribution, production. The UAM wasn't as coordinated. He saw those videos in Atlanta. The UAM was selling it in Brooklyn, if at all. He had professional camera set up front row. And then they kicked him out because he was making bank. He should have shared the profit. But in the long run, he spread the lectures far and wide like he was supposed to. I don't even know if he got rich. It might have been exaggerated. But if he's just doing the work, he's supposed to be rich. And when I say him, I mean his group, his organization, his shop, his venue. Now again, of course, he should share the profit. But do the work. That's most important. Do the work. No one else was serious with the recordings and propagation. When I was there, UAM still had a recorder. But none of them knew how to even work the internet. In the heyday, radios, newspapers would announce the lectures, going on in UAM. It was big business. People say, hey, newspaper, let us know when or what was going on. Kind of like if they were like, hey, newspaper, we're going to buy you, Mr. Newspaper, if you tell us what Oni's going to talk about next week. But that was a network. That was an infrastructure for conscious activity. That was participation on the parts of different African people. That was in the 80s and the 90s. And you don't have that anymore. And then you wondering why Whitey kicking your butt. So UAM would record videos and then sell them maybe next week. And of course you tell them, hey, look, but why would I buy this DVD when I donated last week and I was taking notes last week? Why would I buy it? Or if you're gonna sell it to me and ask me to donate, then I'm not gonna donate. I'm just gonna buy it next week if I feel like it. Meanwhile, he's going out to Atlanta. You see what I'm saying? He's going out to Atlanta. People that ain't even see the DVD, ain't even see the lecture, doing professional camera work from the front row. When I went to the meetings, I might have been in the middle. He's in the front row seat. Active camera work. And you saw this. You see these videos. It says tap production on the bottom. Some of them on the UAM, some of them aren't. But he's like, look, I'm going to record conscious black speakers. Give what I can to whomever, whatever event it is. But record it and sell it in my own shop. And you're not doing that. You're not doing that. They say a lot of artists back in the day, a lot of musicians back in the day would crop lectures, crop black lectures, and put them in their songs. Khalid Muhammad was in one of these songs. There's another brother in one of Dead President's songs who was talking about wolves. That's what you do. Y'all ain't doing that. And like I said, of course you share the profit. You share the profit. You say, hey, look, man, I used your part of your lecture. Here's a little money. Oh, wait, it looks like it's pretty popular. Here's a little more money. You do that, but you ain't doing that. No. You sitting back, and then you wonder why Whitey kicking your butt everywhere you go. Because Whitey got an infrastructure. Whitey has an infrastructure. Whitey owns YouTube. You ever thought of that? He owns YouTube. He owns Twitter. He owns Instagram. You just on allowance. Whitey just allowing you to put your stuff on that. One of these good brothers, matter of fact, that's a good brother who does that kind of stuff, positive work for me, or with me. Brother Dre, he does that. He's like, hey, look, here's the only lecture. Here's the only lecture right here. Here's this, here's that. Here's a good only article. Right? And he does it with all his other people. YouTube keeps deleting his pages. They say, hey, man, look like you getting popular. Look like you really know how to distribute stuff. Looks like you're not following the UAM model. You're following the Clinton Brown model. Okay. Close. Deleted. But you're still playing around. You're not like this, brother. Or like Osman DC says, hey, look, you go to my Instagram, you'll see a lot of this stuff. But you ain't doing that. Like I said, there are people who may be good at it. You gotta look at what you're good at. You gotta say, look, man, maybe I could do good in distribution. Maybe I could do good in production. Spicing up something. Clipping out a piece of it. And putting that up. Maybe I could do that. Maybe I could review it. Do a vlog review. Do a book review online. Show my face saying, look, man, I read this book. Here's what I thought about it. So on and so forth. Here's this, here's that. Gotta go get it. But no, some of you are like, man, look, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to wait it out. I want to be liberated. I want to be liberated. You don't want to liberate. You want to be liberated. And that's the difference. You want to talk about everybody else in the way of liberation, not realizing that it's you. I told you this already. You got to support black people. You got to be pro-black. Look, I'm going to show you guys, if you look at the picture of this video, if you're on YouTube, on this video, you look at the picture, it's going to be the books on my bookshelf that I haven't even read. Some of them I didn't even open. Some of them I looked through and I'm like, I have this book? I didn't even know that. I didn't even know I had this book. Oh, I was considering buying this book. Good thing I already have it. But I say to myself, look, a black man or a black woman said, here's the knowledge that I gathered. Get it. And I said, look, I'll get it. I'll put it on my shelf. Even though I don't know when I'm going to go to it. When I'm going to get to it. I still say, look, I'm going to put some money in your pocket. Even though I don't got $1. I'm going to put money in your pocket. Because I'm pro-black. Because I love black people. And if I see that you're doing good, look, I'll do good by you. Some of you are like, hey man, you doing good. Keep it up. Keep it up. Another good brother is Sababu Plata. Like I said, I got a book I ain't even going to read yet. Osman DC said it was good, so I said, look, let me go get it. I might never read it. Me and my son will. But it's an Amos Wilson book. And this is from 1993. So this is the last book Amos Wilson published before he passed. And in it, he says, dedicated to Sababu N. Plata and Joe Gillian's true incarnations of brotherly love. Wilson passed 2 years later. Today, 25 years later, Sababu Plata is still publishing Amos's work. Still selling it. Still coming out with new books for Amos. 25 years later. It's a black man. Now, if I die tomorrow, you know what you'll be doing? Yvette Carnell isn't really about black liberation. Then you're damn confused why Whitey runs the show. It ain't some mixed girl, it's you! Get the Pro-Black Compendium.
Greetings, everyone. This is Koku from the Bitter Medicine Podcast, inviting you to tune in to the Bitter Medicine Podcast on KWAZ Radio.
Black people face one problem. The problem of ignorance. This is why those who opposed us stole us from our parents, disconnected us from our continent, and enforced on us illiteracy. But now the ignorance is self-inflicted. We send our children to their machines. We detach ourselves from our motherland. And we don't read meaningful literature. Consciousness is a series of stages. The sooner we get to one, the sooner we are ready for the higher. The Pro-Black Compendium accelerates the beginner to the advanced and provides for the advanced an unparalleled breadth. This is the sort of book your enemies do not want you to read, but our ancestors would insist you read twice. Where in the world is the black race the leading race? Where in the world is the white man underfoot while black men wear the boots on their necks? Is it in Africa, where the dictators shoot down families, robbing them and sending that stolen money to Wazungu banks? Is it in the diaspora, where police agents masquerade as conscious or woke, keeping the population dull and passive, marching, petitioning, but ultimately integrating? No, it's nowhere. The once leading race doesn't even have a damn leader and wouldn't even know one if he showed up. Until now. Marcus Garvey, the greatest organizer of the 20th century, left us the course on African philosophy. And I'm teaching it from September 2nd to December 11th for $5 a week. If $5 a week is too much of an investment from you to change the destiny of your people, then I already know all I need to know about you. However, those of you who understand the task we need to take, sign up before September 2nd at africanbloodsiblings.wordpress.com/Garvey. The time for playing is over. Black leadership is coming back. The days of the fearless cracker are no more. Tuliende Maat, Tushiende Isfet, Tuendele Ankobia.
You are listening to the Pro-Black Perspective on KWAZ Radio.
Now look here, you got two things that you need to do. Matt, you got one thing. You got two things, but make sure you do this one thing. And the first thing, number one, is stop underestimating the black man. Number two, you guessed it, is stop underestimating the black woman. But I say the black man first because we're at war and black men win wars. You keep worrying about boys and girls. You need to stop that. Stop worrying about boys and girls because boys don't fight. Boys, girls, children aren't supposed to fight. Don't tell me about the kids. Don't tell me about Yvette Carnell, some mixed girl. Don't tell me about those grown black girls or those grown black boys. I don't want to hear it. Black boy walking around in a blue vest. I don't care. Stop worrying about them. Worry about the men. When I say get this book, get the book. When I put out a video, you put out the video. You comment on it. You share it. Every living black person. You do 100 comments yourself. We're at war and you're playing. You're putting out Breaking Brown, mixed girl. It don't even make any sense. She's a mixed girl. When I say I'm doing a class, you say sign me up. If I say $50, you say $55. 55. It's war. Alton Maddox, powerful black man. He once said he was told by his elders that if 100 black men got together in New York, they'd take over the city. Another elder told him there weren't 100 black men in New York. Look, I don't know if there's 100 black men on this planet. I don't. But I'm letting you know, if you know of a black man, wink, wink, walk with him. And when he tells you to jump, touch the sky. We are at war. Jump! Thank you for listening. I invite you to join hands with your brothers and sisters as we recite the African affirmation together. It's a call and response, so follow my lead. We are an African people, robbed from our homeland, robbed of our names, our languages, our cultures, our religions, our womanhood, our manhood, our sisterhood, our brotherhood, our motherhood, our fatherhood, our selfhood, our nationhood, and our self-respect. But we shall rise, never to fall again. Up, you mighty race, you can accomplish what you will. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.